Boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm the Obscure Angel PT, and for today what I do have in here is Sniper Elite V2 Remastered. So this game it is developed by the Rebellion, the same developers behind the entire Sniper Elite series, aside from the first game, which I believe it's not developed by the Rebellion, and also the developers of their latest game, The Strange Brigade, which uses Vulkan or DirectX 12. But yeah, for today, what I've noticed so far is, yes, they still use their Azura engine, of course, and this game uses only DirectX 11. There are a couple of revamps that they have performed into the game, like better textures, which unfortunately and obviously consumes more VRAM, better draw distances, better level of details like foliage and stuff like that, better shadows. So it was pretty much a lot of revamps they have made, but in my opinion they are quite subtle. So I believe that if you played the original version, you don't really need to play this remastered, because there isn't too much of a difference in my opinion. It might be worth it for anyone that wants to play this game for the first time, but still, even that way, I'm not really sure if it isn't worth it to buy the first game, I mean the original game instead. So for this video I will be using the Ultra settings. I decided to test the game without recording with Ultra and also with the TI settings, but unfortunately for me and in this video, what I will be doing it is to use the Ultra settings, but I will change the texture quality, but because you can see the game warned us that 2 GB of VRAM might not be enough. To be honest, I really didn't have a problem with using Ultra settings despite the warnings. I've noticed, yes, a little bit more stuttering, but it wasn't nothing groundbreaking. So I believe that despite the warning it just plays nicely. But anyway, for this video I decided to go with the TI textures, so I decided to use their recommended settings, so Ultra settings but with textures on high. I will be playing the game with the maximum difficulty, so no assistance, realistic ballistic behavior, and you know, the worst difficult for the enemies, because I've finished the original game before in the maximum difficulty and I really loved it. Sniper Elite 2, it was probably my I don't know, my favorite game from Sniper Elite, because it was the first with the X-ray stuff and you know, all that stuff. So the requirements for the game, they ask for an A8 5600K, 4 gigs of RAM, or an HG 5470 for the recommended. They ask for a Ryzen 5 1500X and an RX 570. But despite all those recommendations, I was able at 1080p with the Ultra settings, and this includes the textures on Ultra, I was able to get an average of 78 frames per second and a 1% low of 65. So great frame rates above 60 frames per second with no issues, but I only tested these missions. So in later missions, if you find something a little bit more demanding, you can reduce the game to the TI settings. I didn't spot too much of a difference between the TI settings and the Ultra, so you will be okay if you drop from Ultra to the TI settings, in my opinion. So the only downside about this is that now on Steam you are not able to get the original game. I really think this is bad, because the remastered version of this game costs 35 euros. It is, I'm not saying that it is expensive, but Sniper Elite 2, it is a game with a lot of years above its head, and probably many people wanted to buy the original version instead of buying the remaster because it was way more cheaper. But now on Steam you simply can't do it. I believe this is a trick they have made to force people to buy this version and waste more money, and so I don't really agree with this. And despite they are offering a massive discount for the owners of the original, you still need to pay $10 if you have the original to upgrade to the remaster. Many games before have offers the remastered games for the owners of the original version, so I don't really appreciate this move from Rebellion. I think that the previous owners of the original game should receive the remastered for free, and the newer players should be able to choose between if they want the original version or the remaster. This is just simply my opinion, so I feel this is kind of, I don't know, it seems like business, and I don't really like this. I really love Sniper Elite V2, but I don't like the moves that Rebellion are performing to try to sell forcefully this remaster. Alright, so this is something that I don't really agree. And if you want to get the original, now that it's entirely off Steam, you can get this game from Kinguin, the original and the remaster. I mean, the remaster is not available by the time of this video on Kinguin, but you can get the original game for around 5 euros or 6 euros on Kinguin, which is so much cheaper comparing to the remaster. So yeah, despite there are good improvements in here, like I said, I still think that the original holds up quite well. So it's really up to the money that you have to waste with the game. This is just my own opinion about this, and I died. So with this, I finish up my conversation in this video. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video. I will play a little bit like more 10 minutes, so hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video. If you don't know Sniper Elite, stay tuned in this video because this game is really interesting, and I'm playing with the maximum difficulty, so it's amazing. So guys, that's all. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of it, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Töte den Scharfschützen! Angriff! Töte den
Mann gefallen! Mann gefallen! Leiche gefunden! Da ist er!
Da drüben! Eindringling! Hier bist du!
Haltet die Augen auf!
Kontakt!